made them be segregated. We just do it automatically. Because there's some fucked up thing in us that makes us be that way.
That is.
Well, see, I don't know if that's true. Tribalism isn't about oppression. Racism is. The Zulus and the Tutsi, you know, it's okay to want to be around those that you're familiar with. You know, but tribalism and racism are two totally different animals.
But didn't they
they're
murder each other?
Different. He's right. They're different things. I'm saying the broader term is tribalism.
Well, what I'm saying is tribalism and racism are two different species. So that I'm not, you know, not just, you know, in the fruit family. I'm saying one is a car and one is a parasite. So
you think so? Expand on that. Expand on that.
Because tribalism isn't about the complete oppression of another group, generation after generation after generation. So it's not about exploitation. Tribalism is, I am this, I designate myself as them, we are this, and you are that. Racism is totally different.
They kind of sound like the same thing, though. Like,
well,
if you're just writing it down, they sound like you're just writing the same thing.
Listen, I just told you, one is about oppression, deliberate, intentional oppression of another group. That's racism. Tribalism is saying, I'm this, you're that.
Yes, but once you go out and go conquer another area,
what I'm saying
becomes your tribe, right?
What I'm saying is it fosters the tribalism, fosters the us and them mentality. It's not a we mentality, and when you get an us and them mentality, I wouldn't say always, because you never know always, but it seems like throughout history, on every piece of land on this planet, when it starts becoming us and them, at some point, the us decides we're going to take from them. Like there are no peaceful societies on Earth throughout history. We've always been killing each other.
Here's one commonality between tribalism and racism. There's an ethnic component. The homogeneity of a ethnic group versus the other.
Listen. What I'm saying is, because you can have all of these things and not have oppression, that's the difference. So once you take away oppression, then racism is its own thing. So we're going to talk about, yes, both require human beings. That's a totally different thing. But oppression is racism's calling card.
So you're saying that tribalism has absolutely no content of oppression? Because for one tribal to be dominant, it has to be somewhere where it pushes the other or the minority tribe to the margins of that society.
There was no such thing as that back in Kemet.
But this is what I'm saying, is that what we're experiencing now is the first of its kind. There's no such thing like this type of racism, deliberate oppression throughout history. This is a new phenomenon. So we can't compare it to what's going on with the Fulani and
that's not factual. That's not factual.
Yes, it is.
You want to say about racism?
No, it's not. Here's what I'm going to explain to you where it's not.
Chris, let me just give a quick hit at it. There's no such thing as racism that you will never have the Mongolians slaughtering fucking Chinese.
Listen, what I'm talking about, racism has components that you must check these boxes to be classified. So coming through slaughtering somebody is not racism, because
there's over the known world at the time.
Okay.
It'd be no different than what you're trying to say that white people are doing to blacks in America.
Well, I'll tell you what, there is no money still being spent from the Mongolian expansion. So that's the big difference.
Whose fault is that?
What do you mean? Whose fault is that?
Yeah,
I'm saying that money that was used to, because you guys are saying this, making these historical fallacies, not me. So what I'm saying is that
no, I'm not making. I've never made any.
There's still a Great Wall of China still standing right now.
Okay, well, tell me the industry that exists from its construction to this day, because that's.
Why do you think China's independent?
Okay, right. You don't know what the hell you're talking about. And what I'm talking about right now is that there's still money being spent from slavery. Institutions that started from slavery still exist. So that's the difference. the money's still circulating. So the money that was used to strangle a race is still in circulation. That's not true for any other event in history.
It was, bro.
That's a perfect
Stop blaming white people for conquering blacks. If that's if that's the historical grievance that I'm hearing in your argument,
you should be mad with your Moors, if anyone.
It's not an economic grievance, man.
Hey, listen, I don't know who you are, my man, but you're going to sit here and justify what they did to the globe just because for what reason?
All right, this is what I'm going to say to you, because blacks like to do that. You don't know who I am. I don't have to be anybody, as a matter of fact. But what I'm saying to you is that hearing you speak is, and I won't say dangerous, it's just, it's gridlock. Your logics and your arguments are what continues to let blacks be gripped in this gridlock of impasse. Where fuck slavery. The best thing that you Americans can do is to forget about slavery. You know what argument would seem more up to date? If you argued about Jim Crow and the economic problems or the economic hindrance that occurred with Jim Crow policies, not slavery.
Hey, something's wrong with you, man. Something's wrong with you.
Wrong with me?
Something's wrong with you.
Wait a minute, guys. We're getting off our topic.
There's nothing wrong with me.
Right.
It's just that.
No. Something's wrong with you.
Chris. Diagnose what's wrong with me.
Wait a minute.
Because what you want to do is you want to talk about the kids, don't talk about the parents, and you can't talk about Jim Crow without talking about slavery. So something's wrong with you.
All right, but listen, we're not going back on that road. We went that on the other show.
No.
That's true. And remember, Black Rampage, you can't go back that far.
Right. We talked about
with your own shit.
Listen, what are we gonna do?
You see, but let me say something. You see how blacks are? I gave you a vantage point where you could tear down all these groups or these companies that you talk about, the like American institutions. What's an example? Yale, Brown. You can use those arguments from Jim Crow and make valid arguments, but instead you want to go back to slavery.
No, you're cherry picking history because something's wrong.
No, I'm not
with you.
cherry picking history, and this is also a problem that you guys have. You think that history occur, or you can analyze history just on this single line gradient, and you're wrong. This is why we keep falling back. This is why blacks have not progressed in supposedly the most freest times that men have established now in 21st century. That's the problem, because we keep on looking at history from this gradient straight line. Pick
you know what?
The stuff that you can work with, the stuff that's at your disadvantage, you're going to have to just leave it, but acknowledge its weakness and move on.
We're going to acknowledge what we're going to do to end poverty now, to reduce poverty, and that's what we're working on now. We've had our little racism and our slavery talk already. Now we're going to the flip side. What are we going to do to stop it?
Well, we got to maintain the black family, and that means no interracial interactions.
Huh?
Jesus Christ!
I was
not
going
the
to
only
agree with
person
you
to
until
say
you
something
say that.
like that.
I was going to agree
He's
with
not
you
the only
until you
people.
say that.
Let me tell you
Black
why.
family. The black family doesn't have to be a color.
Well, see, when you say things like that, you make black people obsolete. If there's no vantage point between
Black people been obsolete, bro.
Okay.
Hey,
okay.
I'm gonna say.
Let me say
I got a
this.
quick question.
Okay, hold on. Sorry, let me say something, KP. Hasidic Jews want their children to marry Hasidic Jews. There's nothing wrong with that. Every culture has that same thing. There's nothing. I mean, a lot of the things he says I don't agree with, but that's not an outlandish thing to say. Everybody has that prejudice in their family.
I don't know.
Even if you have a mix. I mean,
I like them Latina girls. I'm just saying.
Guess what happened?
I can't talk now.
I'm gonna make some coffee. Y'all are crazy.
But that wasn't an outlandish thing to say. That's something every group of people say about their religion, their race, their culture. I lived in an Armenian community. The Armenians only want to marry Armenians. If they marry outside of their Armenians, they don't get to be around their family. That's not a crazy thing to say. maybe we don't all agree with it because we all come from blended families of mixed race, mixed cultures. But that's not the craziest thing I've ever heard someone say. It's just not.
Right.
Now you just Black Rampage. You was on the show last, riding along with Damien on some topics, correct?
Right.
That brother is biracial. So pretty much what you should say is fuck him because he's not fully quote unquote black, whatever the hell that is.
Okay, whatever the hell that is. See, this is what I'm saying, KP. Again, you and the other guy.
What is fully black? If you want to be so you want to be so anti-mixing whatever you are, because I can't say what you are because you don't even know what you are.
Okay, just ask me. Just ask me then. Just ask me. What are you? And I'll give you my position.
Trace your lineage. What's your lineage?
No. Ask me what my position is.
What's your lineage?
Well, I don't know it because of white people.
Okay, so how can you sit here and say nobody else?
Partially.
Listen. What I'm saying is that there has to be. Black people have to have a racial self-respect. So there's no reason that someone from a mixed union can have equal membership to the result of a full-blooded union. So what I'm saying is.
Okay, so you should have been checking your boy that you was agreeing with and so down for the cause with, who openly stated that he was half black and half white by American culture.
But see, KP, if you would let me finish, I would tell you how I would designate mixed. But you won't do that because of your setback. My point is that
if no insults.
No, go ahead. That's fine.
A setback is an insult? I mean, Jesus Christ, man.
No, I'm stopping.
What is this, a Catholic school?
No, I'm just stopping you before you throw one out.
That's preemptive.
The precursor.
Okay,
fair.
fair.
By barbaric people, I don't.
Fair enough. Listen, my point is that the Damien guy, you talking about that guy, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, the Damien guy. My thing is for mulattoes is that if they themselves designate themselves as black and act in a pro-black manner and don't use colorism or any type of other instruments of white supremacy against the black collective, then sure, they should have a seat at the table. But as far as just coming out and then telling people you're mixed and want to use colorism at your advantage, then you're okay with racism as long as it benefits you. And so I'm saying that the black family has to be preserved. The Chris guy, he says.
Did you say anything against Jesse Williams then?
He designates himself as a black person. He works in the best interest of black people.
But
there you go. Then you're totally contradicting what you're saying.
No, I'm not contradicting. I just gave you. Listen, KP, something's truly. There's something wrong with you, man. I didn't say that.
You want to accept them when they only for your cause. If they not down for your cause, then they not part of you.
Correct.
Okay, here's the
question. Bullshit.
So basically, you only accept like-minded people.
Yeah, but they're gonna have different pigmentation. So how do you square that?
Right.
But this is what I'm saying.
That's my point. It's bullshit.
No. You see again, KP, man. Listen, you need to have a drink. God damn it. The fact of the matter is that I'm saying that they're of a different hue. They have to recognize that colorism is something that affects black people. It's something that they can't promote. So that's all I'm saying.
So they only down with you. They only down with your thought process if they agree with you. If they with you, then they on the other side.
They cannot promote. They cannot be the ideal. They cannot represent the black collective. So that means that there will be no rolling them out in front as if they represent the black whole. That's what I'm saying. We have to have a hierarchy. Most black is most beautiful, and everything in that tree that falls under those, it will be accepted. Just like blonde and blue is the most beautiful, and everything under that, the redheads, the brunettes, the whatever, they fall under that tree. We have to set up our own hierarchy that we establish, that we recognize.
Don't make any sense.
You hear the word that you used though. You said hierarchy.
Chris.
Hierarchy is not
Here's the
something that's
question, Chris.
equal.
Here's the
You're
perfect
making your own argument.
And it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. Listen, hierarchy only establishes order. So this equality stuff. I'm saying that Wesley Snipes is greater than Jesse Williams, and that's who should represent the black
So
collective.
you're racist against light-skinned black people.
Hey, listen, you don't. No, that's not racist.
Only when it does not benefit them.
No. I said mulatto. I didn't say light skin. I said mulattoes. That's what we're talking about. But because she gets to throw in whatever she wants, nobody gets to check
But that's
her.
what you
Got
said. That's
I said
what you
mulatto.
said. You just said
I said
Wesley
mulatto.
Snipes,
You ever know?
dark skin
Matter of fact, name
Wesley
five.
Snipes
Dark skin mulattoes.
is
Name five.
better
I
than
said-
light-skinned Jesse Williams. That's what you just said.
I said full-blooded Wesley is greater than half-breed Jesse. Jesse can't represent the black collective because that doesn't do anything but promote
So why didn't
colorism.
you stand up and say, hey, shut the fuck up then? Why didn't you stand up and say, hey, Jesse, you can't stand up here and talk this shit?
How do you know I didn't? Shut the fuck up, man. You just sitting here.
Because
You
you
even
just
know.
said you were on Jesse's side.
What was
No,
the solution?
That Jesse
What was the
was
solution
in
again?
charge.
That the black family should exclude anything
So,
of color.
I'm sorry. So
Any
basically
mixing.
what he's
So
saying
if you
is
trace your lineage,
Christopher,
wait a minute, hold on, Tony.
Right,
If you
yeah.
trace your lineage, you already said you don't know what you are then, right?
Mhm.
That
know,
means
I-
You should
Christopher
tell
should
yourself
have.
the same thing. You should tell yourself the same thing. Shut the fuck up.
Right, because
You don't even know you 100%. You don't even know you 100%
Yeah, it's not
quote
go off
unquote
into.
African.
Yeah,
Shut the fuck up.
Wait, Chris, here's a question. So technically, say like me and Tony had a baby. Now, the baby come out then,
Barf.
come out her complexion, right? And all like this. But the
Pretty
baby,
big.
because I'm the father, but the baby sides with an issue that you believe that we should be fighting for. That person should be considered black.
Okay, what I'm saying is, first of all, that's disgusting. Race mixing.
Oh my
Second is that child, because of you, has to demonstrate that it is black-minded, that it recognizes it considers itself black and is for the black cause, and that it recognizes its position in this world. It's not mixed. It's not a half-breed. It recognizes itself as black and
Black
fights for the black
Rampage.
cause.
You, by your own logic, whenever
Oh.
you say something's wrong with Christopher from Jamaica,
No, I'm Swedish.
he's Swedish now, but Christopher is the darkest person on the panel. You should accept his hierarchy because
No.
he is darker than you.
No.
You
This
should
is
not
I'm
tell
talking
him
about.
something's wrong with him. You should
No,
accept his logic.
Tony,
See, this is what I'm saying.
Tony,
And
I
his
okay,
hierarchy.
got this with you on that, Tony.
Hold on, KP. Hold on, KP, because you're about to say something more ridiculousness. What I'm saying to you, ma'am, benefactor of white supremacy, I'm saying that I never said that just because you're dark skinned makes you the ruler of black people. I'm saying that under the hierarchy of black self-respect, Chris, who has demonstrated that he is not that he's not for his people completely, he would not be. He would enjoy the benefits of the black collective.
I'm
a-
gonna hereby refer to you whenever I say anything to you. I will call you the black racist man
I'm against
who should
niggers.
submit
So,
to Christopher.
there are
Tony,
more
you gotta
there are
understand
more
that you're
niggers.
wrong. Remember, you're white, you're wrong. Fuck that.
There are more niggers
She's Latino.
and the
My
nigger
freckles are
mentality. So
correct.
I'm against niggers. Yeah.
Goddamn, you're Brazilian, right?
And I'm Brazilian.
Yes. You gotta remember, you're wrong because you're not.
I'm not even
quote, unquote,
American.
Black, wherever the
I
fuck
can't
that
even
is.
be here.
You're not
And I
You're
even.
just wrong.
Let me
You
give you a
can't argue
solution.
with an idiot.
Let me give you a solution about poverty.
Oh, name calling. I need to him to throw
Well,
the
you
flag.
go to-
Hey, people don't call
We're
people
going to
shit.
talk to him.
Except Christopher's authority.
This is what I'm going to say to him. You're right. You don't even know where you come from, bro. Because you yourself said it. So I'm a nigger. I have more direct line back to Africa because my descendants came from slaves from the Caribbean. So I'm telling you as a black man. Because I can see you're lighter
because
complexion than me. No.
I'm the same
shut
color as
up.
Tupac.
Listen, no, you're not. You're not as dark as me. So now you want to talk pro-black. Let's listen. Let's talk pro-black from a real black man. If you want the black family to look like niggas that look like me, you want black woman popping out niggas that look like me. Skin you, because that's what you're doing. Bureaucracy. Let's call it bureaucracy. Dude, what you're saying, and I'm telling you from being more strategic as a black man and the one who's been beleaguered, you would have to want to listen to my strategy on how to fight white racism and not yours, because you're not as dark as I am. You're using that uology hierarchy, so I'm going to use it on you.
Well, no, I'm not.
Jesus Christ.
He got you.
Oh, Jesus Christ. You're not using skin you.
I was saying, I'm talking about setting up a racial hierarchy for ourselves. So what's considered, like Europeans have a standard of beauty, black people should have a standard of beauty. I didn't say dark skin made you the smartest or the strongest or the leader. I'm saying that it represents the standard of beauty. But you want to go to Uranism and all other things because your boat landed in Jamaica and my boat landed in Detroit, that it doesn't make you any blacker than me. As a matter of fact, you have a very white way of seeing things and living. So you would be.
I know you were going to say that.
You are disqualified. You are disqualified from black conversations.
I'm disqualified from black conversation. And how can you go about doing that?
Because you don't really care.
How can you go about doing that? Because black, you know what it is? Black, ignorant American motherfuckers like you are the ones.
What's the motherfuckers?
No, you call me a nigger.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't. You're a lunatic. You're a lunatic.
I'm a lunatic. It's black Americans like you who have made it bad for black people in America.
Not racism, but my reaction to racism.
Fuck racism. If you're smart, you can easily out-navigate racism. You should know that by now.
How do you out-navigate racism?
He's the smartest racial strategist there is. Ask any black man who has a white woman.
So sexual access equals revolution.
We're not talking about sex. We're talking about playing the game. When America befriends a communist country, what is it doing? A democracy being friend with an authoritarian country, what is it doing? It's playing diplomacy.
You're making a false equivalency because America has power and that other country represents a power. Black people are powerless. What
about the communist country that don't have the same power but decides to friend America to strengthen its little semblance of power? You like to tell me I'm looking at it from a white perspective. You're only looking at it from a black perspective. And that's why you can't move on, because you're locked into one way of thinking, one methodology, one ontological, one epistemological way of looking at how things come into existence or how things are. That's your problem.
You're solving racism with your genitals, and I'm saying you're full of horseshit.
Shut your. You know what? Paul Mooney said it. He said, "You want to get rid of racism? Start fucking more white women."
Right. So since when does a comedian
Did you call
Paul Mooney
a coon?
Because I'm not an idiot like you. I don't follow comics. So you took what a comedian said as law because you're slow.
You put Wesley Snipes at the hierarchy of black people.
Shut your mouth.
I gave it an example.
You're hurling
He's
insults
giving you an
like
example.
No, he's not. No, he's not. You called me
a fool, man.
You called me a nigger.
This is why when Jamaicans came to America, black Americans could have furthered, because you have no work ethics. You have no work ethic.
Right. Because Jamaicans are in America because of their own free will. You motherfuckers are able to travel because of the black American struggle. Civil rights is the reason why you were over there.
You have no work ethic, nigga. You stuck in one place. You've never traveled the world.
This is going well.
Jamaicans are poor, and we picked ourselves up and
so much work ethic. You shoeless machete-having motherfuckers are sitting here on an island without any power. Ain't no white people in them slums. Ain't no white people in them slums, motherfucker.
Oh no!
Look,
you just want to hear insults because that's.
Wait a minute, both of you guys. I had to move both of you guys. Look. We're going away from the topic. Guys, we're not here to fight each other. We've had the fight already for the night. Now we're talking solutions.
Oh, no.
No, we're not here to fight. I mean, I understand you guys. Listen, you're both muted. We're not here to fight. Can we talk about the solutions, guys? Please.
I love you, Christopher.
Talk about the solutions, guys, because this is the problem too. One of the problems is we get caught up, and then we start to name call, and then that takes away from where we're going. You know.
Well, see, here's the thing, man. What I don't like is foreigner blacks like him talking this. You Americans, when you're here off of civil rights, you're here off the back and the blood and the sweat from black Americans, but you want to talk this shit about what we ain't done? We the only motherfuckers that took on white supremacy head on. There is no fucking Jamaican Malcolm X. So he needs to shut that shit up. And as a matter of fact, ain't no poor whites in them slums. Black people live in the slums, and white people live in ivory fucking towers in Jamaica. So shut that work ethic shit up, mother.
All right, hey, no cuss words, man. All right, come on, look. We're gonna go back to what we need to do to actually clean the system up. We're not talking about how privacy, other than the fact that we say kill all white people in your book or whatever. Or I mean, plain and simple. Maybe we just need to. One of the problems is maybe we need to all just poke each other's eyes out so that way we can't see each other's skin color. Maybe that will fucking help. I mean, because really when it all boils down, I really don't give a shit what color the person is when it all boils down. It does not matter. I've never seen a skin color, you know, a white person can help me pull over and help me change my tire just as well as a black person can. I've never seen that where that has actually come into play. In the real world, only ignorant people get caught up over skin color or by what type of religion it is. But see, that's one, I will say, it's a very sensitive subject in America because, you know, you talk about religion or race, or even now, I mean, look at it. Even now, you know, what type of sexual orientation you have. I mean, those are, like, people are damn near killing each other for that shit.
Andre, can I say something? Because he made a historical fallacy, and he used slick words when he said foreigner black. When Marcus Garvey came to America, Marcus Garvey entered into this friction between Booker T. Washington and a so-called Caribbean mulatto dude named W.E.B. Du Bois, or Du Bois. And the same arguments that this dude presented just now are the same insults that he called foreigner black. Is the same thing that these two Americans, both the dark-skinned one and the mulatto one, used to push Marcus Garvey away. When Garvey was the one who had the better principle on how to fight racism, how to make black people great. Not that I'm saying that my strategy will make black people great, but the thing is, when you look at work ethics, black Americans don't want to own up. If black Americans had better work ethics after integration, a la not accepting welfare, living on generational handouts or dole from the government, living off the state's coffers or legacy, they would have been a better population. When black Jamaicans start coming into America, having 2, 3 freaking jobs, they had, what do you call, a comedy joke on In Living Colors, that they say, what are you, Jamaican? If someone had 2 jobs. You were not so educated, so the way to get along in the 90s when money was booming was to have 2, 3 jobs. If they had opened the welcome carpet out to black Jamaicans or black Caribbeans or black Africans, they could have even built a bigger black contingency to the one that he's talking about. But now he doesn't want to do that. Shit hits the fan now, and the world is exposed as to how shit and low, piss-ass black people are in America. Now he wants the Kumbaya coalition. Go back. See, this is what I used to defend black Americans, you know, until I move here to Sweden and see where real structural hindrance occur in terms of geographical location or the disadvantage, like someone like me who was born in Jamaica. And I used to hear my Jamaican friend talk piss dirt about black Americans. And I used to say, why do you talk like that about black Americans? Until I found Tommy. And then I heard Tommy talk. Now they're going to say I'm an Uncle Tom. Yeah, but the truth is, this dude have historical fallacies, and he's talking like if he's some scholar talking about ignorant. I know just by the arguments that you present that you have not sit in a university and had rigorous analytical exercise on the issues that you claim to so much hold dearest to your heart. Nigger, you are uneducated. I'm way more educated than you. By credence. Not by paper. By credence.
Hi, Eric. I just want to interject quick point, guys.
Hey, you're a coconut milk drinking stupid motherfucker. That's what you are.
Hey, why we fighting?
Coconut milk is
Call
really
me a
great for
nigga.
your brain.
KP, oh Jesus Christ, KP, stop
Hey,
it.
what's happening?
That's a fucking work alarm. That's how long I've been up.
Wow.
It's
Well-
24 hours.
House Finland.
I got a question. Why we fighting?
No, I have to say this. You made a statement about slums and shit. Who's
Hey,
in the slums?
wait 1 second. Wait 1 second. Eric, I'm glad you found us, man.
Yes.
Hi, Eric.
Yeah, man.
Man,
I don't understand. I don't understand why we fighting, man.
Hey,
Right.
Eric, we need your email, man, so we can get a hold of you.
Right, Eric, man. Where have you been, man? I'm glad I found you too, man. What? They didn't. Here's the question. Did you ask where I was? What do you say? Did you ask where I was? Oh man. Hey man. Hey man. I've been off all. I can't hear you. Actually, you know what? Listen. I heard the deal for Mad Black. Cause I checked out Mad Black. I checked out some of his videos, and then I found from Mad Black. Then I found your page, and I've been listening to you.
Okay.
Okay. So I said, yeah, you've come on an interesting night. I'll say that. Yeah, man, because you know why I came in, because I'm hearing the same fight between brothers back and forth, and I'm hearing brothers calling each other nigga back and forth, right. And I'm tired of that shit. I'm too old for that shit. I've been hearing that shit since I was a kid. You know what I'm saying? Definitely. You know what I'm saying? And now there are points that have been made by both brothers, okay? Christopher and by Black. But the point of the matter is this, okay? Let's stop arguing the bullshit, okay? Let's move forward, okay? Everybody's been saying this for the longest time, but we're not doing it. We keep going back to slavery. You understand what I'm saying? We keep going back to white supremacy, oppression, da-da-da-da. Okay, so what? Okay, if you're in America, you got to play the game. It's just that simple. Play the game and bring yourself up. That's it.
Well, I would say as an elder, by you coming from maybe a generation or two ahead of me, I would say that it's evident that it's your generation who is responsible for the failures of today, because you guys didn't fight to build anything for us to inherit. You basically passed down. You basically passed down this curse of white dominance. You know, okay. you want to give advice today, play the game, but that's what you did, and it left us with another generation of job seekers, of non-ownership. So it's kind of far-fetched for you to come in here and act like you're some sage, because in your youth all you did was nothing.
Hey, Black, hold on before you answer that.
Let me answer that for you. Here's the question.
How old are you, Black?
Wait a minute, KP. Well, this is one problem too, KP. One of the things our younger generation has
respect for elders
is we have actually, as a younger generation,
respect is earned.
Always fights the older generation. Think about it. Where you sit up here and you want to sit there and talk, and we can't really blame the older generation when the younger generation fought and they made it to where they can't be disciplined by their parents, or kids have rights too. So basically, when we allow the kids to have their own way of thinking, have their own, rights and stuff like that, technically we allow them to say, you know what, we're going to do what the fuck we want to do. So technically, each younger generation, we allow them to make the change. We have to take some responsibility for that, because we said, no, we're not going to listen to you guys. And then we were actually given that right too.
Listen. Let me tell you something about power.
Rampage, how old are you?
I'm 35.
Okay. Do you have any children?
Yeah.
Okay. Do your children or anybody in your children's age group blame you for anything?
Well, I'll tell you what. If I don't provide anything for her to inherit, she should.
Okay.
Well,
Why,
at least you look
why,
at it
so
too
why
like
are
that.
you blaming the generation before you, after you just
Because,
said, hey, I'm standing on my own 2 feet and making something for my kids?
well, here's the thing. Because of the older
No,
generation.
this
Look,
is the
look, Kate,
problem. We keep blaming someone else
you asked
instead
me a
of taking
question. You
accountability.
asked me a question, and you interject with your horse shit. Allow me to answer the question, or you can just go on your own soliloquy, and I don't have to. I don't have to interrupt you. You asked me a question, so do you want to answer? Or do you want to just be able to just skip past it? Because you're not looking for solutions. You're looking to trap. So do you
I'm
want me to answer the question or what?
Because I'm trying to get you to understand realization and reality. What you lived in your own fucked up world. That the white man is responsible for everything and everyone else is to blame, instead of saying, hey, you know what? I am fucking up. Let me make a change. Let me tell other people, hey, stop being like me. Stop being like my brother. Stop being like my sister. Let's change. You want to keep saying, hey, let's blame the white man. Let's blame our parents. Let's blame our grandmother. Let's blame slavery, motherfuckers I never even known of. That's
Okay.
what you
Well,
keep doing.
no. Well, that's false. But I clearly
It's true.
stated
You
my
keep
no,
saying
no, no,
it.
no, no, no. Listen, either what I'm
How is
saying
it
is
false when you keep saying the white man set up a system, and
true.
because of slavery, because of slave syndrome, that's why we're doing this. That is the blame game. So
Okay.
you sit up here saying that you're not blaming someone, you're lying.
Listen, blame when it comes to actual facts. When you use misleading words, that's white racist talking points.
What misleading
You
words
can't
did I give you, sir?
because you're saying that I'm blaming when all I'm saying is
What
this
misleading words did I just
blame,
give you?
blame is a
Did you
misleading
just
word.
not tell Eric that it's his generation that fucked you up?
I said
That's
they
a
didn't
blame.
provide. That's not a blame. So this is what
That
I'm
is
saying.
a blame.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
But
Jones,
didn't you say it was white people's fault that black people are
Listen,
down? So you're
this
blaming
is the
him for something
you're
white people
blaming white
did, but it's
people.
his
okay.
fault?
Look. I'm being attacked by two people. I'm being attacked by
No, because you
anti-blacks.
know why
You're
you
just
feel like you're
blame
being attacked?
shifting.
Because
You're
I'm
you
a
not.
have
I'm
blame
not.
lied.
shifter.
Oh
Whenever a
God.
person lies, when somebody presents them with facts, they feel like they're being attacked.
Listen,
Because
When's
listen,
they're
when's
human
when
behavior.
when's the
Wait,
last
listen,
time when's the
listen,
last
here's the
time
listen.
you
question.
traveled?
Here you go.
Hey
Question.
panel, hey panel,
Wait a
hey
minute.
panel.
Tom,
Panel. I got a request.
what's that?
Let Black go ahead and ask the question. Let Black go ahead and answer the question. Go ahead, Black.
Now, I just got a quick question for Black. Here's the question. When do you actually take some responsibility for something?
Okay, all right. Well, like I said, we can get into personal responsibility when we have diagnosed the problem. You know, you can't go to step 10 without and skip everything in between.
Well,
My
give us
point is this.
30 seconds on each step real quick. Then just sum it up in
Step
a
9,
minute.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're still blaming something.
Right.
Right. Blaming. Like I said, blaming is something that can be interpreted one way or the other. A fact of white supremacy, racism, and a fact of black generations poorly responding to it. Thus, the only thing they pass on is subjugation. That's not blame. Those are facts.
Blame.
You don't like them. No. You don't like facts because you don't like to walk in reality. So that's why you have a problem with what I'm saying. What I'm saying is a fact. White people started the problem. The other generation poorly reacted to it, and that's what we have. Black Wall Street poorly reacted to white terrorism because they didn't focus on ammunition and weapons, along with shoe shines and barbershops and dentists. And that's why I got wiped out, because they think like you. They think there's such a thing as a good white person when historically there
Did they
isn't.
not try to rebuild Black Wall Street 3 different times? And it failed.
How do you miss my
So
point?
who do you blame
failed.
for that?
It failed because they didn't properly respond to white terrorism.
Don't stutter.
Huh?
Don't stutter.
But it was built during white terrorism.
I said, but your response to
You're
white
repeating
terrorism.
your own self.
Hey, no, I'm not. Shut the fuck up, KP. Like, I've been nice, man. You got to shut the fuck up.
Hey, Black.
He's
It's all good, man. I don't get to
Because I'm trying to have a conversation, but what he does, he just keeps circling, and I'm like, I've answered your question.
No, I give you direct questions, sir.
You don't
You
give
like
direct shit.
questions.
Andre, can I say something, Andre?
Go for it, Chris.
From a foreigner, Negro, coconut drinking. When's the last time have you traveled? Name some places in the world that you've traveled that were black or white run, or have a mixture of demographics.
Okay, I've been to Jamaica, I've been to Hawaii, I've been to Germany, I've been to London and Mexico. That's the extent of my international travel.
And what did you notice there?
Wherever there's black and non-black, you'll find black abuse.
You find what?
Huh?
I said whenever there's blacks and non-blacks, you'll find black abuse.
What about blacks in Africa? And
Well, look, shut up. Because I never said I never said I was in Africa.
No, black.
I never said I was in Africa.
Rampage. I think she just stumped your ass, man.
I never said I
She
went to Africa.
just
So that's a
stumped
stupid.
you.
That's a stupid
He
question.
got stumped by a
No,
white
that was a valid question. Stumped your ass.
I've never been
Good
there.
job,
So how is that
Tony.
a valid?
Okay,
I've never
explain-
been there. So how is that valid?
so
Explain in the
it has
UK.
no
Yeah, white
relevance
girl.
because you've never
Explain.
been.
Explain how blacks in the UK live the same way as blacks in America, in two of the most richest countries in the world. I guess you're going to point to subjugation, right, or oppression.
Well, listen. One thing's for certain: in both countries, but blacks overwhelmingly represent the imprisoned, and that's how you tell the story of their position in society. If you're filling their prisons, you're powerless because you're constantly being targeted and punished. So that should properly seal your fate for the evening.
No, you constantly fill their prisons by committing even simple stuff as with your impulse. If you know,
Okay, you're not no racism, no targeting. The laws aren't written against you. It's simply victim blaming. You're in prison because of everything
You know what,
you
Black?
did wrong.
you like to
Excuse me,
switch it
Black.
around.
Hey,
You like to put
Black,
responsibility on others.
Hold on, Chris. Black, stop that bullshit, okay? Since the 1970s, in the major cities in the USA, okay, and black areas, okay, we talk about how the CIA dropped drugs and everything into the communities, okay? Did the black people have to sell it to each other? Did black people have to poison each other that way? Were we forced to do that? But we did it, didn't we? We did that to ourselves, didn't we?
Hello, can you hear me?
Okay, so the conversation.
Michael.
So you're telling me that
What I'm saying is when you destroy yourself, you can't blame anybody else for it.
Yep,
That's what I'm
correct,
saying.
Eric, correct. I
So
just
for the
used the
people
word
who
with him,
destroy
impulse.
themselves, we also have people who are productive citizens in society. They go to school, they learn a skill, learn a trade, okay? They're in politics, okay? You understand what I'm saying? The point is that when you're in any position of any authority, utilize that authority to help your people. If you're not doing it, then you're wrong, okay? Case in point, Marion Barry. Elected mayor twice, black man, okay? Got caught using crack, black man, okay? This man was in a position of authority. This man was in a position of power to help black people in his community. What did he do? Okay? So see, don't come at me with all this oppression. We know the oppression is there. So fucking what?
oh my God,
Okay?
oh my God, you're an ant under the heel of an elephant, and you're saying fuck that elephant.
Here's the question, though, for you, straight Chris, we're plain and simple. We know that we've talked, like I said, I've had enough talks with you, so I've been through the 10 steps already. So I already know. I done been through your 10 steps of how you say. But now, since everybody has heard the bad part and you saying all the bad shit, this, that, and the other, let me hear some of the good things now that you think that we need to do. Other than the straight attacks and the blatant shit about, distance yourself from white people or whatever. Let me hear a solution to the fucking problem that actually we can start doing as of right now. Answer that question there.
We can separate ourselves from white dominance, and white dependency, and white people.
And by doing what?
Sacrificing and coagulating our sacrificing our needs for for the bigger cause, meaning that if that means that no, you don't get this white on this white on that, and you build yourself or you fund the building from other black people for the benefit of black people. So then you sacrifice. That means no Jordans, no weaves, no dumb shit. You're going to put all this towards building and creating resources for your children to enjoy. So we're going to have to sacrifice the rest of our lives so that our children don't have to. And that means that you have to limit or eliminate your proximity to whites.
Like, okay, here's the question: how do you live? Just take us through, say, the year, the average day in the life of your life. Like, since you say these are the things we must do, let's see what people that have your type of beliefs and it's very strong, opinionated like that. What things you don't do that the average black person does? I want to hear that.
What things I don't do? Well, I try to frequent as many black businesses as I can. My toilet paper is Freedom Paper. It's a black company. I try to shop and spend my money as black as possible. And I definitely limit, if not eliminate, my access to white people. Anything more than I have to, I do. I don't socialize. I don't party. I don't converse. There's no such thing as a white friend. I keep it with my people, and I try to keep it like that on a daily basis.
365 days a year.
Can I ask you a question? You said that
you asked the question. You asked, can you ask me? I'm saying no.
Okay, I'm going to ask it anyway. You said that the problem with Eric's generation is that they didn't leave anything to inherit. But if you're saying that the majority of the wealth is coming from white people, how are you going to build wealth if you don't work with other people who have it to build it? Like, how are you going to do that if you completely cut yourself off and, just go live in an island?
Well, here's the thing. It's not me cutting myself off. I'm reacting to the everyday segregation that we deal with. White people have been found that even if a house fits their every need, if it's around black people, they won't live there. Property value is measured by how many white people live there. So what I'm saying is the segregation is clear. It's not my creation. I'm just reacting to it.
Why is property value estimated by who or the demographic of that community is? What are the reasons why?
What do you mean? I just told you white people say how much a house is because of its proximity to white people.
What are those reasons? Why is it whenever there's a black neighborhood, the property value is not in comparison to a white neighborhood?
Oh, because white people are white.
It has nothing to do with the crime levels in black neighborhoods?
Because there's plenty. Hold on. No. You guys
don't fix up their fucking houses or take care of shit?
No. It has nothing to do with that. We're talking about comparables. So a black doctor's house and a white doctor's house. So what I'm saying is that when the black
don't shift the goalposts. That's not what I
want. Let him talk, please.
No. I'm not shifting the goalposts. We're talking about comparables. So we're not going to talk about somebody white who's a doctor versus a black bus driver. So we're not going to use that, right? We're going to use the top echelon of each community. And the reason why black neighborhoods like in D.C. and Atlanta and all these other things, those black suburbs can't compare to the white ones is because white people make the rules. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. It's nothing against mowed lawns because both lawns are mowed. It's nothing against a loud noise because both neighborhoods are quiet. So what
can I say something?
How do whites make the rules when it's an all-black community?
KP, hold up. He said comparables, right? So I'm going to narrow your argument to you again and catch you in your shit. If you have comparable blacks living by themselves, like you said, in the black suburbs, and they have the almost same kind of generational wealth flowing through their hands.
No. You're adding. We're just talking about real estate. We're just talking about real estate.
So we're talking about real estate. If it's black people
this
who own it,
generational wealth, you can buy one house.
Let me finish. I let you speak. Let me finish.
Listen, I'm not gonna let you fuck me, coconut.
Let me
so
speak.
You're gonna have to stick to what it is.
Nigga, don't use fuck with me in a sentence.
Don't sink to his level, Chris.
Wait, Chris, relax. We're not gonna do the name called black. Watch the name calling, man. Either way, it's a very sensitive subject. But going back to your point and debate your point without the calling a name.
Black is trying to assert his dominance because he already elected Christopher the leader of the black panel.
Black Lives Matter.
He's trying to assert his dominance over the leader who he elected himself as person.
If he said it's a black neighborhood and these black neighborhoods are doctors or the professional class, how the hell is it that they are so stupid that they're making white people make the rules to lower their property value? This nigga full of shit, man. Andre, stop bringing people like this around. Seriously, stop bringing people like this on the panel. Because he's full of shit. If you have, he said comparable, so I'm using his word. That means it's of equal essence and entity in its whole entirety. If you have a neighborhood that is run by black professionals, they own their property. They're doctors, they're engineers, they're coons, probably like me. How is it that we still, with the property value, white people make the rules? That doesn't make any sense.
The fuck?
It doesn't make any sense.
That background noise, Patrick.
Oh, my bad.
I hate to say something, Chris. I have to agree with that because I was sitting there thinking, I know an area here not too far from here, and it's they built all these new homes. Now, all these new homes are owned by black people, and I mean, all of them retain their value because we were actually looking at houses over there the other day. So, but I think more what really hurts our value more, it depends on what type of black people you get. Because sometimes we get the lazy ones, like from down in inner city. Those people, they don't do shit for the community. They don't clean up. They just tear up. They never put anything in, but they keep taking out. It's like, you know, having a bank account where you keep taking money out. Eventually, there's not going to be any money left.
This is apples and oranges. The black people you're talking about aren't homeowners. But what I want to talk to Chris, is he still here? Chris, you still here?
Yeah, I'm here. Guys, if you got to talk, before you guys start speaking, do not start name calling.
Right, no name calling.
Out of here.
Hey, look, man, I'm not name calling, but you ain't my daddy neither. I'm talking to Chris, so shut up.
But, the next one calls a name has to go. That's how.
I addressed
calling. We're just gonna look. We're gonna end it like that. Everybody on a clean slate. No name calling. Facts only.
Hey, Dre.
I said I was gonna talk to Chris. I was going straight to him.
Hey, Dre, pass controls, man.
First one to call a name is gone. No name calling. So between you guys, keep the names off. Fact to state your point. So go ahead.
Listen, what I was bringing up to him was he's sitting here because it doesn't make sense, doesn't make it not so. There are black professionals in black neighborhoods that don't control the economy. They're still consumers. Those houses weren't built by blacks. They're not financed by blacks, and it still makes them slaves to the system. So just because you don't understand it doesn't make it not so. And so they control.
I asked why. I asked why. So you know what you're basically saying? You're saying that even when blacks are supposedly intellectuals, that our intellect is subjugated by white intellect. You're the one that's building this ivory tower of white supremacy.
Okay. So I'm building an ivory tower. So you left your black island to live in Europe, and that's not the
No,
result
we
of
didn't.
white
No.
supremacy?
That's correction. We didn't leave a black island. Go listen to what the Jamaican motto is, out of many one people. We don't live with racial friction like how you guys do in America. That's one thing you should get out there. Since you say you know and you've traveled to Jamaica, Jamaica is not a black island. Jamaican food is not even black food. It's a fusion of Asian, Spanish, whites, Indians, Creoles. So let's get that right. It's not a black island.
Okay, so if it's a fusion, okay, it's not a black island. It's a because I know Rastafarian is very black, but you're gonna make something up for that. So what I'm saying is it's a fusion. Then why is it that the only people in those slums are black? But it's a fusion of all this other things.
Correction again. Rastafarian is itself a walking contradiction because they're using white Jesus. Go on based on your own ideology now. Their own philosophy is branched off from white Jesus. So it's not pure black.
Okay.
Go
Well,
ahead.
like I said, they follow Rastafari, who's an Ethiopian, Haile Selassie. So I don't know what you're talking about. But
They use Jesus. They use the Bible. They use King David, who was white, who was a Jew.
Okay. Well, I'm asking you, answer my question. This is a melting pot. It's not a black island. Why are black people the only poor ones?
Because the black ones who are in the poor all have something in common, both in America and in Jamaica. Anti-intellectual, very impulsive, like what European scholars have said the Negro is impulsive. I wanted to prove that person so wrong. But then when I look at black behavior, bro, I was a liberal. I was a dead hard staunch, probably not as pro-black as these niggas, but I was into Africa. And you know what I recognized being here in Sweden and living and seeing how black people even live here in Europe, or how black people, when they get the greatest chance of opportunity, how they don't budge like a silverback who's been caged. Black people are anti-intellectual. The dominant black people that are breeding now, we are a group of anti-intellectual. We're impulsive.